Hello, Vietnam! It is Matt Haywood from EntertainmentBuddha.com finally making an appearance on the Buddhacast after multiple weeks of skipping. Thanks to my team, Raymond, who's with us tonight, for taking the lead on the last one, and Anna, who is not here tonight. And as always, our buddy across the pond, the fabulous Mr. 10 Bensons.
Hello.
Is here and has filled in for me as well. So it is good to be back on the airwaves. If you've been kind of following me or our social networks throughout the week, I've found a new type of crack to use with Entertainment Buddha, and that's called RAR Radio. It's a little app for your phone, and basically you can just broadcast live right from your phone. So the quality's not going to be fantastic, but it gives me a way to get little 1, 2 minute, 3 minute ditties out each day about whatever is on my mind and basically what we've been covering on Entertainment Buddha. So we're kind of coming at you from all angles on the sound front these days. We got the Buddhacast. We have, no pun intended, helmed by Hershey and Ludwig. And then obviously we have our flagship podcast, the Entertainment Buddhacast, which we're doing right now for you. So, yeah, buddy. So today, the title or the theme of this podcast, or Buddhacast, more importantly, is Shadow of Isolation. So take that for what it is.
Sounds like a Joy Division song.
Yeah, we're kind of mixing in two hot video game franchises right now because we're creative like that. Ray actually came up with that title because he's a lyrical genius. So, anyways, Shadows of Isolation is what we're going to do.
Hang on. Lyrical genius. He just copied what I did last week. Whatever. You're not taking credit for that, right?
All right. Yo, silence, you wanker. Right?
Was that the Silent Destiny? Is that how you guys came up with that one?
Yeah.
I wondered what the silent was, but now it makes sense. So anyways, yeah, if you couldn't tell by the theme of today's cast, we are going to talk about Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, some Alien Isolation, a little bit of Destiny loot talk, because that is a hot-button issue these days.
Man, Destiny's been on like 3 podcasts now.
I know. It is a massive game, so I guess it deserves the attention, and it's remaining in the forefront of many gamers' minds thanks to some of the controversial loot systems and whatnot. So we're going to talk about that, and then finally, we are in the thick of it, fellas, and you gamers out there, I'm sure you're experiencing it as well, and I'm sure your wallets are starting to feel the pain. But once really Destiny, and then a week or two after that, we've now hit the fall video game AAA release season. This is where all the big boys just start dumping their games onto the adoring public to take advantage of the holiday dollars that will be flowing. So we're gonna kind of each talk about 1 or 2, 3 games that we're really looking forward to that's still to come out in 2014. So, but first, let's talk about Shadow of Mordor, which dropped this Tuesday. And is it out in the UK, Jim? Did you guys get it day and date with us, or is it not out yet?
Well, we got it today. That's when it was released.
Then how the hell has Owen been playing it since Tuesday?
Steam, I guess.
I think he got it on Steam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been playing on Steam.
He's got some foreign connections. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, well, I don't want to get him in trouble, but yeah. So anyways, the game came out on Tuesday, and we've talked about before, the last cast I was on with 10 Bensons, I kind of relayed my experience from PAX, getting some hands-on time with it. I still sucked at explaining the Nemesis system, but I had high hopes for it, and I've had high hopes for it since its announcement, because I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I'm a Tolkien fanboy. I mean, that hooked me first.
You've been telling me at least about it since before I could have sworn the game was announced. That's been something. Shadow of Mordor has been on your mind forever.
Well, yeah, I mean that just goes back to my fanboyism for the whole everything Tolkien. I mean, you're going to capture my attention just if it's Middle Earth or whatever. Now, I think we all, when we first saw that trailer and the guy that created the Assassin's Creed 2 engine was like, oh, look, someone's using my engine. I think we're all like, uh-oh. But over time, with more gameplay videos released and then actually getting some hands-on time, my perception of it grew very strongly in the positive realm. And now that it's been released and I've gotten to play it, I can confirm what everyone has been reading and the reviews you've seen and the positive buzz surrounding this game is, for the most part, spot on.
Yeah, see, I remember you mentioning it. I think it was E3 this
Yeah,
year.
I got to see. It was a hands-off presentation.
Yeah, and you were,
but that's
you
the
were trying
first
to
time I was
explain
like,
the Nemesis system.
Yes.
And I mean, you tried your best. There's no denying that. But
it is
a very hard
confusing as
system
hell.
to-
And Ray found out today that even when you start playing it, it's confusing as
Mate,
hell.
I gave it a quick go earlier because my girlfriend got it. And I
Okay.
thought, do you know what? I'll get in a couple of hours.
Did you get bum rushed by like 5 captains within 2 seconds?
Oh my God, right?
Yeah,
Her
okay.
game
so
was really...
It may be a glitch then.
She was like...
Yeah, okay, because that's I texted Matt. Sorry, not to cut you
go
off
for it,
there,
go for
Jim. But
It's happened to all of us now. Owen actually started
I
a
booted
subreddit.
up the game, took a shower, came back, sat down, and was like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna start playing." So I'd have something to talk about with it tonight.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, after you do the little intro thing, once you get control of what's his name, Talion, to actually play the game, I jump off the tower, walk maybe 5 feet, and 5, I guess, captains or chieftains or whatever the hell they are just decide to circle me, and I got bodied.
Really? No, I haven't had that. I think I've had a harder experience than my girlfriend because, like, she was watching me, and there's so much to take in all at once.
Yeah,
you
you're
obviously you
right,
get
yeah.
past the kind of brutal intro, you finally take control, and I'm just like, right, okay, what do I do? Where am I going? What am I? I'm getting my bearings. So I go off and I go and kill the first captain, and I was so happy. I was like, yes, because he killed me once, because I didn't realise that if I do a drop attack on him, that I only get one hit, and then it goes to that like cutscene where you cross swords and you have the exchange of
I do
words.
like those title cards. I think that's really cool.
You gotta find their weaknesses. Some you
Yeah.
cannot do stealth attacks on.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
it,
you
yeah.
found
So
out right there. Yeah.
I didn't know any of this. So anyway, I go rushing in, fools rush in. I'm a fool. And he beats me down. So I think, right, okay, I'm going to get you this time. And then I used the intel. So I got the intel, found out that he was vulnerable to this or whatever. Finally defeated him. And while I was there, just congratulating myself and thinking, on a job well done, some captain came up and absolutely slaughtered me. And I found out later on he was like a level 11 captain. And I just defeated he was a level 3. So it was the very first guy I come across. So yeah, I think everyone's game, and this is, I suppose, the brilliance of it, everyone's game is completely different. And
Yeah, totally.
It's
That's
so
what I was gonna
emergent
say. I
as
mean,
well.
That's markedly different.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I had something similar to Ray and Owen, where in this game, it kind of like what Jim said, until you really get your bearings straight and pick a path, it doesn't really funnel you into anything specific as far as a mission goes. And I was like, oh wow, it's pretty much an open world. I'm just going to go around and explore. And I found that that's probably not the smartest thing to do when you first start the game, because you can just kind of run into orc captains that will then call in other orc captains, and before you know it, it's an orc captain orgy, and you are getting your head stabbed off. And then, which you've all have seen now, as a result, if you lose to these orcs, even if they're not a captain, if you lose to them, their rank will increase in the game, and they will actually become more difficult over time. So I highly recommend, when you start out, burn through at least the first 5 story missions to start unlocking some of your wraith powers that come in handy, and B, just to start, kind of get used to the combat. And because it can get frustrating, because this game is not simple. I mean, yeah, it has Assassin's Creed or Batman fighting mechanics, but you have to be spot
There's a
on
lot
with your
of systems
parries.
working
Oh yeah,
together,
you
isn't
got
there?
your parries, your dodges,
Yeah.
your special moves, or you will get beat by even common orc enemies.
I see. I think I've only played for about an hour since I got it today. I enjoy the combat much more than I did in any of the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, it just seems to flow better.
and more so than even the Batman games. Because I feel that the fighting in Shadow of Mordor is pretty much a marriage of those two. But in terms of the combat system, I haven't seen too much of a challenge outside of walking into the game and gotten slaughtered by 5 dudes way higher level
Really?
than me. Because that's what's interesting. Because Matt, I remember you mentioning that to me, and some of the other journalists who were writing about the game mentioned that as well. So I wonder how much of that plays into if that's a random kind of difficulty thing.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you one of my best strategies in a battle is running, and I'm not kidding, because there are times where I'll go in and stir up a fucking hornet's nest, and I'll have 20 regular low class orcs chasing me around, and you really can't. At least me, I mean, maybe I suck, but I have a hard time taking on that many orcs and coming out successful because they're hard to kill. I mean, you have to hit them like 1,000 fucking times.
They do take a while.
Unless you have enough time to do like a ground finisher, or if you chain enough attacks and you get a finisher. So to me, it is challenging, and you don't pick a difficulty.
There are
a
few little things that annoy me though, and it could be just because I'm a novice. And like I said, I've played an hour to an hour and a half tops. So I noticed that sometimes doing the finishing on the PlayStation, it's right trigger and square, I think, to do like a ground. That in the middle of a fight seems a little bit tricky, a little bit finicky to do that straight away.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It can interrupt you as well.
Yeah. I don't like the camera gets a little too tight during heavy action, and
also,
using the R1 button to pick shit up is retarded, because you also have to use it to grab
game
orcs,
that
and
does that.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I was playing something in the last few months that was the button map to pick things up, and I thought it was terrible as well.
Yeah, but I you guys haven't played. I think I have 13 or 14 hours in at this point, but I can't tell you how many times I've almost lost a battle trying to reach for an herb or something, or even trying to pick up the rune that the captain dropped that I just killed. And my guy's sitting there looking like he's jerking himself off, or he's grabbing orcs and holding on to them, and he's getting hit in the back. Yeah. So minor gripes, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a perfect game.
Another one and it's all control related mainly, and the camera.
Yeah, I think I was impressed with the visuals, to be honest, because this is a game that has been developed for last gen and next gen, and we talked about this extensively. How those titles will never, to me, be pure, beauty like just a pure next gen game would be.
True.
I think Monolith did a pretty damn good job with the visuals.
Yeah, Talion's character model from behind looks tremendous. His cape or cloak or whatever is astounding. Matt, I mentioned this to you when we were talking the other day. My only problem with the visual fidelity of the game, and again, this is in my 45 minutes to an hour I've played it. Talion's face is hideous. To me,
is that in cutscenes or in game or both?
Cutscene and in game, even on the main loading screen. The hair texturing is weird, and it messes.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think his hair looks a little too wiry.
Yeah, if we're gonna get anal, I'll definitely agree with you on that. Older gen, yeah. Which, I mean, that's understandable.
But I still think, and I'll interested to see what you have to say, but in the cinematics, I do feel like, he may be goofy looking, but I feel like you do get some sort of emotion out of everybody. I mean, the Gollum scenes have been
that
great.
Opening sequence, man, that's really, really well done. It's brutal,
isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you're like, holy hell, I can't believe they're showing this.
I don't get why I was sword fighting with my son, and he was like, you got to hit me or something.
Well, they're just practicing. I'm a geek, so I know all this shit. Basically, they're men of Gondor, they're rangers.
Rather than
I understand. I'm just saying they're specifically training swords for that kind of thing, but I was going at them hard.
I got a question.
I just thought that teach that little shit weird. How to defend against the Black Horde. Screw it.
See, I've got a question for you, Matt, and it's because you have spent a fair amount of time, a fair amount more time than myself and Ray, and it's do the orcs maintain their kind of visual identity? So I've noticed that out of the 4 or 5 captains that I've seen, they all have a distinctive visual style. So one guy, he's got some great big fucking helmet on that has all this kind of weird shit coming out of it. Then another guy's got this fucking thing.
Oh yeah, I love. Going into the Nemesis menu it's a thing of beauty. Just looking at all of them on the board, and then when you zoom in, you get to see the detail of their face.
Yeah, they're
and their
gnarly,
name,
man. They're fucking
their names
gnarly.
are fantastic. The one guy that everyone's going to come across because he's part of the game, he's one of my favorites, is Ratbag the Coward.
Yeah, I've just
I love Ratbag.
I've just come across.
I've heard people talk about.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, Ray, I love the NPC like orcs. If you just sit and listen, some of their conversations are fantastic. Because they will. They'll sit there and talk shit about Ratbag. I'm
a sucker for that
I've heard them say, like, oh, man, all these orcs are coming to we must be massing an army, which obviously is leading into, Sauron is rebuilding his forces and calling everyone back to Mordor to get ready to, launch his attack on men that you see in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I love the detail in this game is insane. I love the appendices. I mean, if you're a Tolkien fan, all that stuff is fantastic.
I mean, apart from the little glimpse of Gollum that I've seen so far, it's very much removed from the films, which I like.
Yeah, I mean, this is a completely new story that bridges The Hobbit to The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean, this I guess you would not consider canon, and I'm sure the Tolkien family absolutely fucking hates it because they hate the movies.
Because
they're not happy people.
Jim Benson's, they hate that the Tolkien license has been sold into films and all that. I mean, they can't stand it.
But I bet you they love.
They'll take those royalty checks. I mean, who you kidding? So.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to your question,
more, I'll tell you that much.
So far the variety is present, and I've killed many captains and war chiefs, and so far I really haven't seen one that is a duplicate.
Good.
I did find out today, reading and talking with Owen, that if you do not actually dismember, like literally execute,
I know about
a captain, they will come back, and they will remember you,
awesome.
and they will hate you even more.
Yeah,
I mean, I had a guy last night. He's like, you made me turn white. And literally he was white in color because I guess when I beat him the first time, I scared the shit out of him. And he came back with a vengeance.
It's the same if you burn them, they come back and have burn marks. And I don't know, can you dismember limbs? Because if you could chop off.
That would be great.
Yeah.
No, I'd
chop off his dick.
Chop off his third leg or hobble him.
Ray would like a belt of dicks around his neck.
Yeah, I would actually prefer if I could wear a crown of them.
That's like Universal Soldier, right? And the dude's wearing the ears around his neck.
That's it.
Oh, dude, I wish we had an artist in house because I want someone to draw Ray with a dick necklace now.
Oh my god,
huge orc dicks.
You want to see Ray with a dick necklace? I'll go out.
If someone is listening that can do that, and you send it to me, I will send you money. Over
our
the
lone
internet.
super fan out there. I know you're going to listen to this. Farsender, I believe that's your name, and we do love you.
Shout outs to you, dude.
If you know anyone that is good with art, if they can draw us a picture of Ray. Just go on the website and check out his profile pic with a orc penis necklace. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I will print it out and frame it. I'm not even kidding. That would make my life.
That would cap 2014 as the best year in EB history, which we are kind of headed for that milestone anyways.
You'll have to make sure it's your profile picture for the site.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll probably tattoo it on.
Yeah, we uploaded
just
10
the
Benson's
dicks or the.
Yeah, no, mainly I'll actually just get the necklace done in ink.
Oh wow, we really.
All right,
went
we're
down
off
the
the rails
toilet.
already.
Yeah.
all I can think about now is Ray with a bunch of big green penises around his neck.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so Shadow of Mordor. I guess early score, if I want to give you a kind of preview of where my head's at right now, I think it's easily a very high 80, probably going to end up in the low 90 type of a rating. I don't think it's going to be a perfect because I have, like I said, there are some control issues that we've discussed that.
Yeah, that camera is the only thing that's bugged me.
I just know there's been a couple times where I've almost wanted to scream or throw my controller because I feel like Talion is not doing what I want him to do, which results in him getting killed.
That's for me. I noticed the movement seemed a little bit strange. I was expecting it to move like Assassin's Creed, but
kind of like he's kind of like a drunk boxer almost.
And also, why do I have to hold down the left trigger and then use the right trigger to power up the bow? Why can't I just hold down left trigger and it do both at the same time? It just seems a bit.
But again, all minor stuff. Like I
said, very much so. Very minor. Yeah.
Excuse me. I think this is headed for, like I said, in the 90s. Definitely going to be in contention for a Game of the Year potentially, at least for me.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. When you mentioned about it after you came back from E3, I wasn't really that bothered by it. And then you came back after PAX and you mentioned to me about the Nemesis system. And that, like raised my eyebrow and got my kind of attention, but I still wasn't that bothered. But after seeing reviews and seeing what people have been, because it's buzzing right now, obviously, since people have had their hands on it. So, my excitement has steadily crept up throughout the week. And knowing that my girlfriend was getting it and actually seeing it in action and getting to play it myself, I'm highly looking forward to actually getting some decent time with it because, what I played was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm all over it. I definitely, I had high hopes going in. Now that I have it, so far they've been paid off upon. So kudos to Monolith. Great work so far. Really great way to take a well-known license and
not fuck
kind
it
of
up.
breathe. Yeah, right, and kind of breathe some life into it.
And I think that the reason I'm enjoying it, similar to what you guys said about the licensing thing, I do like. When I was younger, like the Lord of the Rings trilogy is what really made me get into like reading, if you will. And then, so when I first heard about this game being set in Middle Earth and stuff, I was kind of hesitant. I've talked to you guys about that GameCube Hobbit game, so that's always left a bad taste in my mouth. But dude, I like it because it doesn't feel like a Lord of the Rings title to me at all. It feels, obviously, it borrows from the source material, but it does, if you're going to do like a love letter or an homage or borrow a setting, like this is how you do it.
I think the story's fantastic because, I mean, once you get into the missions and you learn more about Celebrimbor and his involvement in Middle Earth.
What a great name, too.
Right. I mean, and again, he's from the novel. I mean, he's a legit character. He really was the guy that forged the Rings of Power. I mean, that's nothing. I'm not spoiling anything if you've watched or read any of the Middle Earth novels.
Where things aren't canon, it really gives them an artistic license to just take it where they want. And like, obviously, they've been really tasteful with it.
Yeah, I mean, so far, they definitely have stuck to the backstory because Celebrimbor was tricked by Sauron, who was, kind of appeared as an elf to make the rings, and then Sauron made the one ring by himself to control the others. But it's all good stuff. So let's move on from Mordor. We definitely, I think we can all support it at this point and say without hesitation, it's worth a buy if you've been on the fence.
Giving a thumbs up so far.
If you've been on the fence,
hour,
I can tell you right now, I'll stake my rep on it. You're going to enjoy it. So just go get it. Or you can wait for my review, which will probably be next Tuesday. All right, so just real quick, I want to move on to a game that has been out for a little bit, and the world has gotten used to it, and that is Destiny. So last week, I did an editorial on the Destiny loot caves, and it was mainly to just kind of highlight that maybe the fact that gamers would rather sit and shoot into a cave for hours on end than actually play the game and go through all the missions to rank up, that it should be a sign to Bungie that maybe their loot system isn't ideal. And when they came out and like, oh yeah, we patched loot caves because we don't want you playing the game that way. We want you to go out and experience it.
Game,
and that's how I felt. I'm like, you know what, guys, that's great, and I understand this is your baby and you dumped years and years and years of work into it. But gamers will always find a way to make a game more enjoyable if its core mechanics are broke, if you will. And Destiny, it's not a broken game. The loot system sucks. It is painful. It's nothing but grinding the same missions over and over and over again with no guarantee of getting loot that will increase your rank. And I'm mainly talking about the end game, once you hit level 20 and beyond. Getting to level 20, fine. You get XP. It's easy. After level 20, for those of you who don't know, the only way to rank up is with light points. The only way to get light points is through armor. The only way to get armor with light points is to go on the same missions over and over and over again. Or you could try to buy armor with better light points, but to do that, you have to pick a faction. Once you pick a faction, you then have to go on missions over and over and over to earn the faction reputation points. Then you also have to earn the marks for that faction to buy the weapons. It's nuts. I mean,
convoluted.
I'm only at 23, and I've put in some serious amount of time. I know our friend Hank the Ganker, Benson knows him. He's played it religiously, and I think he might be at 26, and I would not be surprised if he's dumped 50 to 60 hours in to get there.
But I haven't played Destiny outside of the beta. What you're describing to me sounds exactly like every
MMO.
other, MMO. Yeah.
Welcome to MMOs,
Like,
I think.
I think people are more up in arms about this because it's
and
Destiny
you're right, but
from the guys who made
Bungie
Halo.
from the get-go has said this is not an MMO.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but it is. Like, screw them, it is.
Oh,
like, that's
no
exactly
doubt.
what Destiny is.
But then again, it's not a fully
They
fledged
didn't want
MMO
to call it an
either.
MMO because that would maybe affect sales from people that are more Halo-style game fanboys. So, yeah, that definitely sucks in terms of grinding. But it's like, dude, if you've played World of Warcraft or something...
And I haven't, so I'm talking out my ass. But I can, and I love.
No,
grounding.
and that's why you have the right to be pissed about it. Like, if it's your first MMO quote unquote experience, that sucks. Like that.
And I have no. I actually
Yeah.
enjoy grinding. I mean, back in the 360 days, we used to have grinding parties to get achievements because we were all psychotic. I mean, we would do. I can remember playing with this guy Bane of Fenris, the Riddick game, and we would play the
Marcus.
multiplayer.
Oh, dude,
Over
that game
and
is
over
good.
and over, and it was terrible. And we just run at each other like, okay, you blow my face off, I'll blow your face off, and I could do that for hours.
Yeah.
So
Marcus
I'm all
was-
about grinding
Marcus
if
was
I
good for
get
that.
something out of it.
Marcus
if I
was good
get,
for grinding achievements.
Bane was a champion of grinding.
Yeah.
If I get something out of grinding, fine, I'm happy with it because Destiny's gameplay is fantastic. The shooting controls are great. It's fun to play with friends. I don't even really mind the repetitive missions. It's just. Once you hit level 20, you can go on 10 missions and not really have it affect your rank whatsoever. And I just got a problem. I don't have all the time in the world to just sit around and fucking grind Destiny all the time. And that's what people are telling me. Well,
I mean, also
it's
you
just
got-
not a game for you. Well, then,
Yeah, I mean,
well,
these
fuck me.
strike missions that are...
Yeah, no, I think they're wrong too, though. I think Destiny is a game for you. From everything I know about Destiny and what you like to play, that is pretty much right up your alley.
Exactly. I just want to get rewarded for my effort.
Yeah.
And I can relate to the feeling that I'm sure Destiny at large felt with, you guys finding a way around something and, the developer pretty much patching it and saying a big F you to that. I mean, that's in terms of the speedrunning stuff. Like, that's pretty much the core tenement of how to progress or break a game. And I've had games get patched on me that it's like, wow, well, the 2-hour time saver we just found we can't use anymore. That sucks.
Oh man, the
So
loot cave
I feel you on that one.
or murder cave, it was a glorious affair. I mean, at one point, the one night I was farming there was 6 of us all lined up like a firing squad, just unloading rockets, guns, whatever into this cave. And then the first guy that would run out of ammo, he would make a dash for the cave, and then everyone would be like, "Yeah!" And we'd all charge in. You get in the cave, and it looks like a dance club. I mean, there's just all this glowing neon loot. It was so awesome. It's like it almost felt like a Borderlands or a game or like Diablo where you actually get fucking loot for doing shit. So it was sad. The patch that came out this week supposedly is going to fix the way the Cryptarch gives you loot, because that was another issue. You could find a fucking legendary loot Energem or Energram or whatever the hell they're called. You could take it to the Cryptarch on the tower. He would decode it, and you'd get a fucking green.
Oh,
Okay,
also,
what
can
the
you get,
hell
like,
is that shit?
If you was like a warlock,
Yeah, you'd get something for a Titan.
yeah, and you couldn't even swap it with your mates. There's no way of...
No, you would have to.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
ass
you can't
backwards,
swap
yeah.
anything with anyone, by the way. I mean, you just have to dismantle your items and hope to get a little glimmer. And by a little, I mean, you hardly get any, even if it's a legendary item. So I think Destiny has heard the community. They're obviously watching. They've seen.
Do you think
what
it's going to be
people
one of
are doing.
these games that... I mean, there's going to be a second one, obviously. Do you think that the second one will be the one that will really look kind of like Watch Dogs? I mean, Watch Dogs had the same kind of thing, and that people.
I think Destiny will continue to patch until.
You think they're just
the
going to
loots-
patch the arse out? Of
Yeah,
it for the
I
next
think
2 years?
I think eventually they're going to start lowering the requirements for leveling up post level 20.
Yeah, but then
I do-
people
I
get
think
bored
they're-
quickly, aren't they?
Well, I'm bored because it takes
Yeah.
forever. I mean, it's you're screwed if you're damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation. But At least the people I've talked to, and when I wrote that post, and usually people that comment on M4G are just a bunch of Claudites just trying to troll. But I mean, for the most part, everyone agreed with what I had to say. I love M4G.
Hi N4G.
Yeah, I love them, and I love the passion of some of those people. But I mean, anyone that's been on there, there's people that get on there just to, shiv you and get your panties in a bunch. But
they get on there just to act like they're video game fans.
Yeah. So we'll see. Only time will tell. I mean, I do not dislike Destiny. That's not the point. And really, for someone like me that is extremely busy, and now that all these games are coming out, and we run a site about games, so we got to get coverage. I just don't have time to, dip 2-3 hours a night into Destiny to level up. I mean, whatever. I'll return to it in December when all the new games die down. So any other comments on Destiny, gentlemen? I know you really haven't dabbled with it, but
Destiny.
No, I'm definitely I'm gonna be picking it up. I think around the holiday, when I'll have more.
Yeah,
time
I think
off from
like
school,
I said, it's gonna be a good holiday game just to burn time.
for sure.
I'm probably going to be
that's my
picking it up next holiday. So Christmas 2015.
Yeah, when they're giving away on PS Plus.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like
They would never
the
do
thing
that because nothing good comes to PS Plus anymore.
Yeah.
no, but the thing
They
that made me
adopted
do that,
games
though,
with Gold's model.
was the fact that when I said to you, I think it was a couple of podcasts ago, I was like, I played the alpha and played the beta, and you said you've kind of pretty much seen everything it has to offer other than extra story content. And that put me off because I just thought, well,
you got it, buddy. That's it. That's Destiny right there.
Yeah, no thanks.
I can probably almost recite every line of dialogue that Peter Dinklage has at this point.
Please don't.
I'm telling you, I've been on.
Oh no, actually do it. You might even get a contract with Bungie because your delivery is probably going to be better.
He kind of mailed that shit in. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that is pretty pathetic performance.
But imagine that check he got for it.
And
Damn.
he's probably still getting paid. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What else is on the docket, my friend?
Alien Isolation is. It is timely because a lot of the top tier media, I hate calling them top tier media, but that's really what they're called. I mean, I think we're top tier too. No one knows about us, but we're top tier in our own minds.
I would give us an S ranking.
We're S.
Yeah.
So we're like D list, they're A list.
No, S is high, you troglodyte.
Super.
That's above A.
S for super or splendid, stupendous.
Sexy.
All right.
Worked it.
So, anyways, we didn't get a review copy. That's fine. We'll be checking it out next week. But Alien Isolation. All right, this is a game coming out by Creative Assembly. It's following the story of Amanda Ripley, who is Ellen Ripley's daughter. I think it's 10 or 11 years after the events of Alien. Amanda goes in search of her mother and ends up at a space station that actually has a Nostromo dock to it.
Yeah.
And then there you go. And then that's the premise of the game. It's kind of a stealthy shooter light. I mean, I played it at E3. I played the challenge mode, and it. I thought they nailed the atmosphere perfectly.
Yeah.
I personally did not like it because it is so stealthy. I mean, it's pure stealth, and I couldn't even beat the challenge because it was so damn hard. I mean, I would get sniffed out by the Xeno every freaking time. But there were a lot of good jump scares, and like I said, the atmosphere is there. I mean, I felt scared to go into each and every room from my previous location. I mean, even when I'd hide in a locker and the Xeno would get up on it and like breathe and shoot his little mouth out, I mean, you would feel it as the player, like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get killed. So anyway, so the game's coming out next week. Reviews drop today, and for the most part, they're extremely positive, which I think fans of the Alien franchise, which I know Benson's is, Owen's been talking about it, I am. I think we've all really wanted a real Alien game.
Yeah.
We all know Colonial Marines was a major clusterfuck, completely missed the mark on that. Pretty much, what was that? Aliens vs. Predator came out before that. That was terrible. There really hasn't been a good Alien game in quite some time, if ever. Or one that really managed to capture the soul of the film.
I think Creative Assembly have been very astute in steering away from the kind of kick-ass Marine side of things and bringing it down to the very essence of what made the films terrifying.
It is the formula that made the movies terrifying. You're talking about a non-soldier, a female at that, that overcomes everything, fear, to best this basically unstoppable killing machine.
Yeah, and also like the ship itself. I mean, I forget the name of the guy, but you know the room where you've got all the chains that are hanging down from the ceiling. I think it's the very first time that you really like. There's such tension in the scene. I mean, even today, if I watch the film, that scene always gets me on edge because it's just so well done. The lighting's perfect. The sound.
It's great. I mean, it's great. I almost think Alien's better than Aliens, and that's sacrilegious to some people.
I think they're good in different ways. Just like, you know, a game like Colonial Marines should have been awesome, but then got fucked up so bad by.
That's a huge shoulda, woulda, coulda.
You can blame whoever you want. You can blame Gearbox, Sega, and plus they outsourced to other people as well. So, I mean, it was just a complete clusterfuck from start to finish, where it should have been amazing. It should have been a great first-person shooter with kind of like horror elements. Almost like, you know, treat the aliens like they was almost like zombies, but, intelligent. And then on the other side, with Isolation, I mean, as they have stuck to the original tenets of, you know, the film, you've got a really great experience waiting for you. And I think that because Creative Assembly have stuck to that, I just can't wait. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I cannot wait to play it because Colonial Marines was so disappointing. It, like I said, it had it there, and like watching video after video, it's like, yeah, we've got the licensing for this, and we've been able to go for the original blueprints, and we've got the original sound files from the film, and I'm just like, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I need to find out that nothing was scary about it whatsoever, because I felt like the aliens were just ridiculously stupid. I mean,
you're exactly right. I mean, they would spawn out of an imaginary corner of a room and they'd just like run around. I mean, some of them would just stare at you.
Yeah, I mean, and this is forgetting all the visual downgrades and all the stuff they kind of ripped out of it after they, done a bait and switch.
Gameplay sucked. The whole game. I mean, it's making me sick even talking.
Yeah, it was.
It was a horrible experience.
So
and I think that, I mean, based off of that too, much like when we were talking about Shadow of Mordor, in terms of licensed games, I think both Creative Assembly and, by the same extension, Monolith over at Shadow of Mordor are doing it right in the facet that both developers have been completely open in saying they're fanboys of their respective source material, but don't want to do what the source material did. You know,
I think
spot on. They're forging their own story within the
Game
universe.
Informer. I think it was their last issue. They did a horror issue, and Isolation was one of the featured games. Without going into the article, they had like a little side column that spoke specifically about the development team, why they want to do this game right, and what's inspiring them to do so. And, obviously loving the film. Aliens specifically, not Aliens, or so on and so forth, too, was very interesting and kind of got me more excited about the game than any trailers or screenshots have.
Yeah.
It does look pretty, though. There's no doubt. I mean, I don't think Owen finished it. Maybe we'll go out tomorrow, but we got a bunch of launch screens for Alien, and it looks good. So I'm with you, Benson's. I'm excited. I'm slightly fearful that it is going to be super stealth-based.
Yeah, you're not a stealth guy, are you? So
they said you can shoot the gun, but don't bother 90%.
Oh yeah, well, trust me, I found that out in the demo. I mean, I had the flamethrower. And it was nothing like when Ellen had it in the second one, and she torched the queens, all her eggs and shit. And she's like, yeah. Really, weapons in this game are meant to give you a brief pause to escape rather than kill.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, I found Mordor to be a little more stealthy than I thought it would be, but I like its stealth. So who knows? We'll see. But anyways, keep things moving. Sorry guys, I got a short night tonight, so this is gonna be a fast cast. So maybe you will like that. Some of you may prefer our longer ones, but we're trying to keep this one quick. So we want to transition into the remaining fall releases, AAA releases mainly. This time of year for gamers is always fantastic. It's costly, but it's usually fantastic. And me, I do like AAA games. I will always like AAA games. I'm slowly getting into the indie scene because A, I love indie developers. They're some of the best people in the industry. And B, I do like the retro charm. But the AAA, that's my bread and butter. So let's just start out. I don't know if anyone's ready, but Jim, Ray, what games, like 1 or 2 games you're really looking forward to that hasn't released yet?
Right off the top of my head, I can give you 3 quick ones. The first one, going with the whole retro charm inspired, is Citizens of Earth, who I think is either being developed and published or just published by Atlas. It's pretty much a love letter to Earthbound. I've said multiple times, Earthbound is one of, if not the best games ever made as far as I'm concerned. Same kind of visual style, same Americana vibe going to it. So I'm stoked on that.
It's even getting a Wii U release, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's coming out for like everything
but Microsoft. Or not on the PS3 either. It's going to be for Vita, Wii U, 3DS, and PC.
Yeah. Next to that is Persona Q, Shadow of the Labyrinth, and that's just because another Atlas game. I do love my Persona. And then last but not least, my big one for this year as a whole, Lords of the Fallen, comes out in 20 some odd days, I want to say now.
And I'm extremely jealous.
And boy, am I excited.
Put your name down to do the review if we get any code.
Yeah, and I already have a copy pre-ordered. Like, I'm going to have a lot of fun. Everything I've seen about that game.
I did get to play it, and it's...
yeah.
Again, I'm not a one bro, a son bro type of guy.
Let's not go back to the first podcast.
Yeah, well, that's always going to be our running joke there, the bros. And there were many bros at PAX, by the way. And now that I know what they are, first off, it's a freaking beauty. It looks fantastic.
24 days.
It looks fantastic. At least on PC, it looked fantastic. And it is...
The PlayStation 4 build looks just as good, actually. I've been keeping a close eye on it. So.
It's definitely brutal, and you will definitely have to learn from your mistakes each time to progress. So I can see that. Good list there, Ray. How about you, Benson's? What are you looking forward to?
Strangely enough, I'm actually looking forward to a game called Project Cars.
Oh.
Because...
Really? What...
Yeah, because there's no decent racing. I'm actually looking forward to Drive Club as well, because I'm a bit of a racing...
Dude, yeah, I am. I'll play that for sure.
I can honestly say, and I'm embarrassed, I'm looking at it now, I've never even heard of it.
You've never heard of Project Cars? Right, you're going to have to put me down for
my head must have been buried in the sand, I don't know.
I'll put my name on the spreadsheet for the review code, because it looks insane. And
who's doing it?
I can't remember.
Developer?
I can't remember.
No, don't know. It looks like it's next gen only. It's PS4, Xbox One.
No, it
PC.
is. It is next. When you see what it looks like, you'll realize why it's next gen only. It looks
pretty
absolutely
solid,
stunning. Huh? Especially on it's a game that it looks great on next gen consoles, but on PC it looks unbelievable.
Would you say it's more of a true to life sim, like
it's more Gran Turismo than it is
Gran Turismo? Okay.
Project Gotham.
The developers actually, they've only done like racing games. They did Need for Speed Shift 2, and Ferrari Racing Legends, and that is Slightly Mad Studios, who are in fact British.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Hey, you learn something new every day.
I'm looking forward to Project Cars.
Thanks, Google.
Because I switched from PS3 360 to PS4 when it was, I got it at launch, so I missed out on Gran Turismo. Was it 6, isn't it? Yeah, so I missed out on Gran Turismo 6 because the only game that I got after the summer was GTA 5. So I've been really hankering after a decent racing sim. And also an arcade racer as well, which is why I'm looking forward to Drive Club. And the fact that it's on PS Plus, I think most people that got a PlayStation 4 have got PS Plus. Just the simple fact that, you want to play online, you've got to have it. So everyone's going to be picking it up and giving it a go. So I'm really looking forward to that. I might even pick up the full version depending on how it goes. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Project Cars. Also looking forward to Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm waiting for the boos and hisses from Ray, but no, I am.
Oh, no.
I definitely am.
I hope it's great for you.
literally because I want.
Side note: Ray is
I'm not feeling
Ray
it.
has
Let's put it
predicted that
way.
Dragon Age will be
Ray's
ultimately a poor
are
entry in the
blinded.
franchise.
Ray's eyes are blinded by The Witcher. There's no doubt about it, and that's fair enough.
No, and see, that has nothing to do with The Witcher. That's just everything I see in development just points to. But anyway,
No, anyway, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to seeing.
I am
Inquisition.
too. I am too, Benson's, and I even like the second one, which is everyone hates. I mean, for some reason, I just liked its brainless mission.
I never
structure,
even
but
played the second one.
We've all talked about my gaming habits. I mean, the less I have to think, the better off I am. Except on my tower defense games. I love my tower defense games.
See, I played the first one. I only played a little bit of the first one. I never actually finished it. And when I heard about the second
it's on
one,
sale right now.
I just couldn't be bothered with it. So I'm looking forward to playing the third one,
All right.
Inquisition, just because from what I've seen, it's they've completely changed.
It has plenty of promise, but like
Yeah.
Ray said, it has plenty of downside too. So it's just going to come down to, I think, you as a gamer and
Yeah,
what
true,
you like to
yeah.
play.
it's going to be a preferential thing. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. What do you guys
I think there's gonna
make
be-
of the? I'm just looking at the list here. The Crew. Anyone interested in that? Like
That's
some
another
newbie
racer?
games, like Far Cry.
that a racer?
4. Yeah, Crew is the one that's like mapped the entire USA.
Yeah, I think that in theory that's awesome. In terms of like driving and racing games or whatever, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm excited to play Drive Club mainly because I'll be able to play it for free
Yeah.
and check it out. And if I do like it, I will, buy the full thing. I think it's crazy the kind of mapping they did.
Yeah.
They did for it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Ray. I used to be a huge racing game fan. I mean, I remember when GTA 3 on the PS2, it's staying up for hours on end doing the marathon races to get like a wheel that I wanted. But I've kind of lost my love for racers. I like arcade racers, something like a Need for Speed or a Burnout.
Yeah, that's well. The Crew is pretty much like that,
Okay.
but it's more of an MMO.
Yeah, I mean, it's something if it shows up on PS Plus one day, sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of like the same. I like the idea of the fact that it's got this massive map and it has the social elements, but I've not seen anything that's made me go, "Oh, I really want to find out what that's all about." So, yeah.
Cool. Any other games that are tickling
Watch
your
Dogs
taint?
releases for Wii U, November 18th.
Oh, I know you've been waiting for that, dude.
Dude.
I know you've been waiting for that.
Sick burn.
Yeah, poor Wii U.
There it is. Yeah, Watch Dogs November 18th
Yeah.
on the Wii U.
Yeah, it's such a
Cool.
shame.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go. Since I'm the boss, I'm gonna list 4. So suck it.
Shit.
Just real quick though, Civilization. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Blah 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 Beyond Earth. The Civ games are crack.
Yeah,
I missed out on Civ 5 because I didn't have a PC that could play it. I now have a PC that could play. So I'm really hoping to at least lose a couple hours of my life with Civilization
pure
Beyond
digital
Earth.
heroin.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to even go into discussion. The Civilization games are some of the best turn-based strategy games in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get any better than those.
You've played
So
a
you
bit,
got
haven't
that.
you? Had you?
I got hooked. I came in late. I was one of
No,
the
I meant
adults that got
the new Civ. Haven't you?
Beyond Earth. No,
Beyond
only
Earth.
hands off. I've only.
Ah, right. I thought you played a bit. I
Not
thought
actually.
you managed to get some turns in.
No, just hands off.
Yeah.
So that's coming towards the end of October for PC. So it's probably going to be a game that I'm not going to get to right away just because I have my own review schedules and you guys have yours.
It'll just
but-
swallow up your life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So there's that one. Then I'm always a sucker for a good old COD campaign run on Veteran every year. So I'm definitely looking forward to Advanced Warfare, even though it probably will not change much about the franchise. I love
The
playing
multiplayer,
through
however.
I love playing through the Michael Bay movie. That is like a tradition for me to
Yeah.
play through a COD on Veteran. So I'm looking forward to that.
The multiplayer trailer they released actually made me sit up and
Yeah,
watch.
look at
I was
that.
just- and I, you know me, I haven't played Call of
Yeah,
Duty.
see,
for a long
I'm
time.
completely opposite. I haven't enjoyed a COD multiplayer since 4, the first Modern
best.
Combat. I love the campaigns as much as they get made fun of and picked on. I love them. So, COD Advanced Warfare. Assassin's Creed Unity, I just think, I mean, yeah, with this franchise has been shoved down our throats every year since the first one, but I loved AC4. I thought that was a great, different take on the franchise. And I think Unity with the co-op and the customizations with the assassins now, it's going to be enough of a change to the formula, and the fact that they've basically rendered all of Paris down to like every last cobblestone.
The map looks absolutely stunning.
I have a hard time believing that AC Unity isn't just going to be a stunning game, especially because it's made just for next gen and PC.
The only thing that really bothers me is that Ubisoft or that they haven't learned and don't seem to take feedback from reviewers or the public about their kind of mission design. And that's a bit of a worry for me, because how many times now in Assassin's Creed have we had the follow somebody and gain conversation? As great as it like was back in the day, you know, getting your plot and getting your story by having to follow someone, it's getting a little bit tiring now. It's like, why can't these guys just have a conversation where they fucking stand there talking to each other, just like I do with my friends? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't go.
I can tell you right now, I don't want
to
spoil it, but that stuff's still going to be in there. But it is revised a bit. You have different ways of snooping now that isn't as perilous as you have had to do before. You know, jumping from roof to roof to just stay with the guys walking. So, yeah, Unity, I think I have high hopes for. I even think Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is only coming out for last gen. I think there's potential there, too. Rogue. I mean, because
that sounds more interesting.
It's a unique story, because you're dealing with a guy who was an assassin, but he was betrayed by the assassins. So he then joins up with the Templars and dons the black assassin's gear and kind of just...
girlfriend's dad gets
he's essentially Anakin Skywalker. Okay, so he gets betrayed, or he thinks he's betrayed by his order, and then he joins the dark side and goes and kills his order. So that's Rogue. And then finally, this one, for the value alone and the nostalgia factor, Halo the Master Chief Collection. I mean, how can you not be excited for that? You're getting 4 games, access to Halo 5 multiplayer, access to the Halo Nightfall TV show. They're all remastered in HD. There's 4,000 achievements to score. All the old multiplayers still there with better visuals. It's just, I mean, the value is ridiculous.
I think it's going to be a bit of a fly in the ointment for Bungie as well, because I think a lot of people are going to play that and just be reminded how great the multiplayer was in Halo and how stripped down.
That's a good point, because Destiny's Crucible, or its multiplayer, it gives you no motivation to stick around and play it. I mean, unlike a Halo or COD or Gears when we did that, I mean, that was on your mind every day. I want to go home and I want to play some multiplayer, and that never happened with Destiny.
The mark of a good game, especially multiplayer, is when you rage quit, when it makes you fucking hate it, and then 10 minutes later, you're wanting to go back in. To me, that's the mark of a good multiplayer.
So. I think Halo, the MCC, come on. I mean, that is just going to be something fantastic. Yeah. And I absolutely adore the Halo license. I really do. I thought I like the lore behind it. I like the characters. I like every one of the games I've enjoyed. I think I've beaten the first one at this point probably 50 times, and I'm looking forward to do it again.
Wow.
So those are mine. You know, the new Civ, COD Advanced Warfare, AC Unity,
there is
Halo, the MCC.
Another big release in December, even though it's pretty slim pickings in December, but Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris.
Oh yeah, that first one was super fun.
Yeah.
Now, is that the sequel to the reboot, or is that another like top down?
It's the isometric one. Yeah.
Got it. Well, yeah, and then also the Halo 5 multiplayer beta starts in December too.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, awesome, guys. That was a nice quick one. I appreciate the speedy time, but I definitely have to dip out at this point in time. So let's go ahead and go around the table. Benson, is there anything you want to get out before we say adieu? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at 10Bensons, and somebody draw Ray his picture of Orc Dick necklace.
Yeah, Orc Dicks. Yep. Orc Dicks.
Yep.
Orc
please,
Dicks.
Please.
Green, warty dicks.
Yeah, nasty looking dicks.
Yeah, gnarly. like like old English
I want
oak.
some Lovecraftian orc dicks. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Warts. All right, Ray. Besides wanting your very own orc dick necklace, is there anything else you want to plug? Shout out?
Yeah, actually, my little pitch. Entertainment Buddha has officially been located on Steam now. We have a Steam page up. So anyone out there who is listening and happens to be using Steam, go over to the groups. I think you can just search Entertainment Buddha. The full URL is going to be steamcommunity.com/groups/Entertainment Buddha. So yeah, head over there, join, follow our curator page, which is found, from the group page, and hang out, chat with us, whatever. Bring your friends.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, I know at least a few of the staff, they're usually on Steam throughout the day. So come engage. Let's have fun. Us little sites.
Yeah, I
are
can't
just as
guarantee
talented
that
as the
I'm always
big
going to
boys.
respond to messages because I could be deep into a game. So I'm sure you'll appreciate that. But yeah, you can get hold of me via Steam through our curator page.
And then me, like I said, when I started out, we are now on Insta Radio. Well, it used to be Insta Radio. It's now RAR. I try to do at least one little ditty a day. If you're on RAR, you can search at Entertainment Buddha. That is our channel. We'd love a follow. Me personally, I'm Matt R. Haywood with an E on Twitter. And then you got at Buddha for the site. You've got Entertainment Buddha on Facebook. You know what? Just go to entertainmentbuddha.com and check out all our socials and give us a follow. You never know. You may win something. I mean, today we gave out a copy of Defense Grid: The Awakening and something for Gauntlet in-game rewards.
Yeah.
So you never know. We try to give back to our community. So it's been real, fellas. Great to be back on the cast. Everyone out there, make sure to get on that Mordor train. And like I said, I'll be dropping my review next week if you need that extra convincing. So for now, we must say goodbye.
So long, farewell.
Orc
See you,
dicks.
geeks. Yeah. Orc dicks for the win. We're out.